Hello everyone and welcome back to SAFC Fan TV. Tonight, goals from Charlie White and Jordan Jones gave Sunderland a 2-0 victory away at Fratton Park. Jacob, a great win tonight, especially at Fratton Park. We always tend to struggle there. This result could be very important going forward for the rest of the season. But how did you see the game?
Over the moon. Honestly, the Wembley rehearsal for this Sunday couldn't have gone any better tonight. I'll tell you what. I mean, Lee Burge, he could have had a cup of tea leaning against the goalpost, to be honest. It absolutely had nothing to do all night. But just our overall build-up play, our passing tonight was so crisp. Leading up to chances that we created were just superb to watch. And Lee Johnson, he's working miracles with this team now. Everything's clicking into place. And you know what? Not only top two, looking at the table tonight, Jack, the league is doable now.
Go on.
It's doable. We can win the league this season.
Just wait for that to get clipped up and put them out on Twitter towards the end of the season.
We can win the league this season.
Well, you've said it there.
Dino, I've said it.
Yeah, I think, Dino, the word scrappy was used a lot in our live stream. I know we, in particular, the two of us kind of struggled to get an eye on the game, really. But, I mean, from what you did see, Dino, how did you see the game?
Taking the lead again after 10 minutes, it's not bad. Thank you very much, Dad. Hulk Hogan just brought me tea. He's a good man.
There's one thing you can say about SAFC Fan TV, at least we're professional.
First 10 minutes, we get a goal straight away. We get a corner. I think Jordan Jones whipped it in, and Charlie White does what Charlie White does. He's just scoring goals for fun. You can say good movement by Charlie White, or you could say bad defending by Raggett. I watched your preview with the 4-0 over or something. I can't remember what his name is. I'm really sorry, but he said Raggett. He said Raggett was their weak man, and it proved tonight. The first half was very scrappy. Not many chances were created, and then the second goal. What were them doing? That's a thing McFadzean would do. Pass it across the box, and Jordan Jones switches on. He's the only one switched on. He just gets there in front of Raggett, and he does a lovely little finish. For me, he was my man of the match, Jordan Jones. I thought he was quality. But you know what? I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it. I can't believe I'm going to say it. We can win the league. I look at the table myself, and I'm thinking,
yeah, it's happening.
I think Hull are top with 65 points. We're on 60 in 2 games in hand. We can. I'm actually can't believe I'm saying it. We've got a chance.
Yeah. We never thought we'd be saying this back a few months ago. People were actually saying back kind of in January, I think it was this season's a write-off and things like that. But, it just shows how different things can be. I think these are both right in what you're saying. It was just a bit of a shock to hear it come from Dino. Obviously, we can touch on man of the match as well a little bit later on. But Jacob, I don't want to bring the mood down, of course, and I think we took our goals well when they came. But Dino kind of mentioned it there. First and foremost, from the corner, Raggett definitely lost White. Whether that's down to White or Raggett is a debate in itself. And whilst Jones did well, very opportunistic getting in there when there was a misplaced pass by a Portsmouth defender, or Raggett didn't quite get rid of, however you want to see it. How much of an aid did Portsmouth really have in each goal for you, Jacob?
Yeah, I think looking at both of them back, they were responsible for their own downfall tonight, to be honest. But at the end of the day, Jack, you've got to do well in terms of the press and how well you execute your set pieces in order for you to force the opposition into making mistakes. And I think the pressure we put on them when we had the ball tonight, and when we were also getting the opportunity to get it into the box, they couldn't deal with it. And we were saying, Jordan Jones, he's just, honestly, if I were Lee Johnson, I'd be getting on the blower to someone at Rangers now to get him back next season. Honestly, what a player he is.
You give him a what?
On the phone, mate.
I know.
Don't try it with me, Sunshine.
Silly as I normally am. Jacob, there was a moment in the game that we talked about briefly on the stream. Of course, I had a penalty shout around about the 65th minute. I think it was Jacobs ran into the box and Flanagan went up against him. Do you think we got lucky there, or was that not a penalty in your eyes?
I think we were lucky with that one. But to be honest, I think the referee tonight, I think the amount of unnecessary free kicks he was blowing for was a joke, to be honest. I mean, that one where I think it was a ball played through to Marquis in the first half, he tripped over his own feet, and the cheek for him to claim that was a foul on him for a penalty, disgrace, mate. Honestly, get up and carry on with the game. You're not getting a penalty for that.
I think White was treated a little bit harsh at night. I think White didn't really get away with it. There was the odd time when I thought, White could have actually had a free kick himself, but it went the other way. Dino, who's sat enjoying his tea there, of course. The same two questions, I guess, Jacob Brady. I mean, how much of an aid did Portsmouth have in their goals, and did we get away with it with a penalty for you?
The first goal, I really think it was just good movement by White, and I think Luke O'Nien blocked Raggett's path to get to him. So by the time it got to White's head, Raggett was just too late. So I think it was good on Charlie White and O'Nien. I think it might have been a work on set piece, because we don't score many set pieces. The second goal, all their fault. I mean, what are they doing? Passing it across the box? You don't do that, man. You just get it up the line. Why do you want to pass it across your own box and risk that? I guarantee they won't do it again. And the referee for me had a brilliant game. I mean, John Marquis went down for a penalty. For me, he fell over his own feet, but referees do give stupid decisions like that because referees aren't that good in this league. And then the Flanagan one, like after watching it back, I've seen them given. It's a 50-50 where Flanagan goes to kick the ball and their player might have just nicked the ball off him and then he follows through. And I've seen them given, but I'm glad he didn't because it looked 50-50. I think I've seen them given, but I'm glad it wasn't because that could have changed the game.
Yeah,
if it was given. But yeah, Portsmouth will be devastated. I mean, the fans will be devastated with what they're seeing tonight by their defenders. Terrible.
Yeah. Dino, I'm struggling to hear you talking serious when you've got the disco lights on in the background. That's all. If you can see
he's having a rave.
But we're going to have Dino's disco party, after a great win tonight. I mean, Luke O'Nien got man of the match from Sky Sports. I think you might have mentioned or Dino, one of you might have mentioned Jones. Jones, of course, getting a goal and an assist tonight, having a great game, I thought, as well. From what I did see, unfortunately, I didn't get to see much of it. But as I say, O'Nien getting it from Sky. Jacob, I'll go to you first. Who gets man of the match for you?
Jordan Jones. Yeah, I think it's just not only is high press into forcing their defenders to make mistakes, but also his link-up play with the midfield tonight on the right-hand side. Just knowing when to make the 1-2 passes in order for him to find space and cross the ball. Superb tonight, Jack.
Yeah, I'm the same to you, Dean, already. Who gets man of the match for you?
Man of the match. I mean, don't get us wrong, Luke O'Nien has got a fair case because he's out of position and he's kept them quiet. I thought he won all his battles he was put in the air, on the floor. I thought he was outstanding, but Jordan Jones at the minute, he's creating and he's scoring. I mean, every time he had a chance, he'd run at their defence. His pace is frightening. Defenders are actually scared to put a tackle in on him because he is so quick and he will go past you. And to top it off with the goal, I mean, some players might have panicked in that situation because he's running away from the goal and he's just lightly dinked it over the keeper. I mean, what can you say? Yeah, Jordan Jones every day for me.
Yeah, he had a great game tonight. He's something different. We haven't really got many players like him in the team, in my opinion. Players like you say, who can just run it defences and terrify them. He's got so much quality on the ball. I'm going to give it to Jones myself tonight, although I did think O'Nien was a close second, especially putting out of position. He was so solid and he adapted really well. Lads, just before we look to wrap things up, really, and I don't want to go into this too much. Obviously, Portsmouth normally give us a really great game, and as much as I wouldn't say it was easy tonight. I mean, we did win 2-0 and they didn't have a shot on target. I am slightly contradicting myself. But, by no means was this a game where, we kicked back and we didn't even have to, we had to put the effort in tonight. Let's not get it twisted. Were you all concerned maybe that Portsmouth made things a little bit simple for us, Jacob? But I mean, I'm not myself, but I know some people might be.
What if Pompey made things simple for us? Was that your question?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not myself, but I know there'll probably be the odd person out there, one of Dano's fellow Germinators, maybe.
I think it's just with Pompey at the moment, it's a team out of confidence. I mean, I think their manager, I should say, it was even doubt whether he'd be in charge for tonight. So, yeah, it's not good in their camp at the moment, but I think you've got to take advantage of a team which is out of form, and we did that superbly.
Yeah, Dino, I know you like to bring us all back down to planet Earth. Is Portsmouth's lackluster performance tonight and their poor form of late any kind of does it bring the mood down a little bit for you, or is we still had to do our work, didn't we?
We still got to make, like, yeah, they made mistakes, but you've got to capitalise them mistakes, and we did. Normally we don't, so we had to put the effort in. Don't get us wrong. I mean, the defence has to put the effort in as well, because it's a makeshift defence. And for me, Callum McFadzean, people slay him. I thought he was all right tonight. I really thought he'd done okay. I mean, it's not a coincidence we've kept how many clean sheets now this season, and I think we got a clean sheet last game. This game, I mean, that's not a coincidence. That just shows how well we are defensively at the minute, and we're starting to score the goals now. Before it was keeping clean sheets, we couldn't score goals, but now we're doing both.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the change from the first and second half of the season. Jacob, I can see you wanting in there just very quickly.
Yeah, I think the key stat is, I think it was made by the commentator tonight in the game, I think it was only 26 goals conceded in 32 games, and correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's a fantastic stat to have for a team who's keeping a solid unit at the back and is also going for promotion at the same time.
Yeah, you can look to expect to win games really with form. I mean, of course, we'll get into this more on Thursday. Of course, on Thursday Night Live. Speaking of, we do have a very busy week on SAFC Fan TV coming up. I'll get into that just a second. But going into Thursday, we're going to speak about it a little bit more. But on Sunday, we are going to have a few defensive problems. But like I say, we're getting that on Thursday with certain players being unavailable. Dion Sanderson being one in particular. But yes. Starting with Thursday Night Live on, of course, Thursday. How many times have I said Thursday recently? We have Thursday night at 7 p.m. On Friday, going up is Jacob's preview did on Wembley Way with a Tranmere fan. Also social distance, of course. It's going up at 5 p.m. And then on Saturday, we are having a Trafalgar Square style pre-match party starting at 7 p.m. And on Sunday, of course, the watch along for the game, which we might be doing something a little bit special for. We're just looking into the finer details, seeing if we can make sure to do. So a very busy week on SAFC Fan TV. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you won't miss any of that. Speaking of, please do like the review if you haven't already. You have enjoyed hearing our thoughts on the game. But from myself, Jack Dodds, from Jacob Kirkbride, and from Dana Welgar, thank you to every single person who has tuned in, and we will see you for the rest of our busy week, which begins for Thursday Night Live at 7 p.m. Bye-bye.